Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Welcome to part 3 of this reword follow-up series that we are informing our reword mentors and volunteers how to groom our rewords who have entered into Islam. Remember, one of the very important aspect and very important issue here is to make that reword feel at home, feel at ease. So you would want to give them the perspective that, look, you have become a Muslim, you have taken the Shahada, you have said Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, but now don't try to overwhelm yourself. Don't carry yourself over in that frenzy that, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know how to pray, I don't know what to do. So your perspective as a volunteer from a Muslim, you have to teach that reword, that new Muslim, that everything will happen gradually, step by step. We cannot do everything on the first day and the first night. And Shaitan's perspective is always to burden the reward, so you want to tell them that in that initial phone call, so that they don't feel burdened with the whispers of Shaitan that we have to learn so much and I can't do this thing. So they might have this hesitation and reluctance, and they might even want to go back outside Islam again, go back to Christianity. So from Islam's perspective, we request our volunteers to tell the reword in that first initial phone call that please be patient, be perseverant, relax. We will teach everything to you step by step, and you will also need to learn in baby steps so that you can groom yourself gradually. Because doing everything quick and fast may spoil the whole grooming process. Because remember, Islam Reword Follow-Up Program is a whole learning curve which happens gradually and slowly. So having said that, when you tell the person, if they have any initial questions, you can ask them that you have any initial questions, and if they say, yeah, I don't know how to pray, I don't know how to read the Quran, or something like that, then you tell them that this is why we want to make an appointment with you, so we can take you to the mosque, to the masjid, and you can meet the imam, meet the other Muslims there. Also learn practically how Muslims pray in the masjid. We can have a small session or recitation of Quran, and you can sit in a circle in the masjid along with the imam or some other brothers or sisters in the masjid, depending on who the reward is. And if you are a female or male, you can tell them that the females will sit together and learn the Quran, and the males accordingly. So therefore, this masjid appointment is very important to seek, because maybe the reword might be very busy, very hectic in the schedule, so you still want to give them the importance that we have to secure this appointment here in this first initial phone call, so that they don't slack off. Because if we don't do it now, they will slack off, they'll become lazy, and the follow-up becomes more slower, and then gradually and slowly they will dwindle away from the path of learning Islam. So that is why it is very imperative that we as Islam volunteers try to seek an appointment with them in this first initial phone call to bring them to the masjid. And then we contact the imam in the masjid and say that there is a reward who wants to come and learn about Islam with us, so that the imam can tell us when to bring, because the imam knows in the masjid when is the maximum attendance and when can be a welcoming session. Now when you bring them to the masjid, introduce them to the imam first, introduce them to the Muslims that are there in the masjid, and maybe even do another shahada over there on the microphone in front of the people right after the salah, and introduce the reword to the local gathering that this is a person who has become Muslim recently through Islam organization, and Islam is working with them and helping them to learn Islam gradually. So the brothers and sisters in the masjid can also give their positive response and warm welcome to the reword, and this boosts the morale of the reword tremendously. It uplifts their self-esteem, and they feel happy and relaxed that they have a big family to share with. Now, there are certain things that are very important to keep in mind in the mosque visit over there with the reword, that we don't talk in any language other than English. If we start talking in any other language other than English, and the reword does not understand it, then he or she starts getting offended, they feel dejected, they feel left out and isolated, and they may not even want to come to the masjid again. Point number one. Point number two, we need to keep in mind that we do not at all sideline the reword in that meeting, in that gathering. We try to bring them into the gathering. And so therefore we'll cover this more in the next segment. Wassalamu alaikum.